Episode 12 of DNMs with Duzzi, and I'm here with
Meg Ward, and I am born New South Wales, Gosford. When I was 1, I told Mum and Dad to move to Queensland because I want to be a Queenslander, and I grew up in Sanford.
Beautiful. You told them when you were 1.
Yep.
You developed early.
I can't live here. I need to move. I feel like I'm from Queensland.
Yeah.
And so we moved.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when I say we're on, we clap together.
Okay.
And we're on! Boom! Alrighty. That was a weird sound I just made.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I did either.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
So this is the quick fire stuff, and you've got actually an extra question in there than other people. Because you're a bit special.
Okay.
So we'll rip straight into that. Your favourite rugby league moment as a fan?
As a fan, I'm going to say Darren Lockyer picking up that footy and scoring in the State of Origin. Ultimate. I know everyone talks about it.
We haven't had that one yet, actually.
Haven't you?
No. There's been a lot of Origin ones. That's a great moment.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That was a heartbreaker, wasn't it?
It was.
Poor Dals. Favourite rugby league moment as a player?
As a player, I'm going to say winning the 3rd premiership with the Broncos. That was epic.
Yeah,
being a part of that, like, sort of history was very, very cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun.
And you get another one.
Okay, yep.
And I know it's only the start of your coaching career, but so far, your favourite moment as a coach?
As a coach, I'm actually going to go with creating history with the PNG girls over at the Olympics. World Cup. Creating history with the girls over at the World Cup.
Oh, that's cool.
That was insane. It was like just like the coolest moment to ever be a part of, to see like the passion and what it meant to the girls. Like they were all like in hysterics, crying, like proper howling, crying, because it just meant so much to them. Like what they've been through. There's still so much development going on over in PNG, and we've got a long way to go, but that was just like a really special moment to know the background and some of the stories of what those girls have been through. To be a part of that's pretty epic. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought it was going to be beating Burleigh in the semi-final this year.
Oh, no, that was a good feeling, especially when they were wearing Norse kit. That was my fave. You look good in blue. I told you that.
Oh, shut up.
We're not going to go. We're going to cut that bit.
Your most underrated NRLW player?
I'm going to go with a player that I watch constantly and just can't get over how she doesn't get the accolades, but is Shanice Parker.
Oh, that was me and G said her too.
Yeah. I think she's so good. I just think she just does her job defensively and in attack. Yeah. Like she's always either creating something or defensively, like she's so hard to get past. Yeah. And I just think she's so underrated.
Me too.
Yeah. She kind of reminds me of like a Amy Turner when she played like a Wayway.
Oh my god, yes.
Like a Wayway just was a centre that like
and she
no
was
one
also
was
very
ever
underrated.
Like,
yeah.
Amy Turner, like, but she just did her job.
Yeah.
No one ever got through.
Yeah. And always comes up with like clutch plays in big games.
Chief. Yeah.
Like, and Wayway used to do that
She
too.
did, yeah. They kind of remind me of similar players.
Oh, that's a really good comparison, yeah. Your child... Oh, actually, sorry, I've skipped ahead. Your shameful obsession.
Ooh. So I'm going to go with... I don't actually know if you can see them. I've got 2. Is that bad? Do people normally have 1?
No, you can...
Well, this one, I don't know if it's shameful, but like, I don't know if you can see them, but they're very short.
Oh, yeah. That's
like constant. It's just like a stress, anxiety.
Yeah.
Like eating my nails. But
I do the same.
My shameful obsession would be a bag of chicken chippies every now and then. Just hold down.
Chicky chippies.
Chicky chippies. They're my weakness.
Any brand?
Smith's.
Oh, just the classic.
Crinkle.
The green, right?
Not the green.
Yeah, green bag.
Yeah. Not the like thins, like the crinkle cut.
Yeah. I prefer the crinkle myself as well.
Yeah, I'm a crinkle.
I'm a big chip gal.
Do you fold or scrunch bar? Well, that's a serious question.
Fold.
Oh, okay, good.
What do you do?
Fold.
Yeah, I'm not an animal.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Your childhood hero.
Childhood hero. I'm going to go with a great man. He's named Gary Bronfield. So he was my first ever soccer coach when it was probably from about under 6s till under 14s. And he just like coached, like just, it wasn't like just a soccer coach, he was like a life coach, like just the stuff he taught me and it was such a like key pivotal age. And he just always taught me to back myself. Like I played with the boys, so he was the coach of the boys. And it was like that awkward period. I know some of the girls talk about like playing league with the boys up to a certain age and then had to stop.
Yeah.
So I played soccer with the boys until I transferred to the girls. But it was under 14s. I remember under 12s and under 13s was like the hardest years. Like everyone would be like, oh, there's that girl, like, oh, they've got the girl playing on the field. And Gary just used to be like, don't listen to anyone, you just get out there. If it gets to a point where I don't think you can play, like, I'll tell you. So he just backed me and gave me so much confidence.
Do you think having like a coach that meant that much to you is a reason that you now are a coach?
Probably, because he like changed and made me so much of who I am.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can do that now for people, you know?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't think sometimes coaches, like, always under 8s to under 14s, like, you're probably not really realising the impact you can have on kids.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like, he wasn't even like a competitive, we have to win. It was just all about like creating good experiences and making people feel good and feel like they could be top athletes. And he just made all of us feel so included. It was just a really cool environment to be part of. And I kind of take a lot of that forward in how I coach.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. This one, I feel like is not gonna shock me. 3 artists for the rest of your life.
Who would you think?
Well, I'm gonna go full country.
Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, okay. You're right on 2 of them.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, then I am shocked.
There is one that I grew up with.
Okay.
I don't know if it's why I am the way I am today. I don't totally think it is, but Pink.
Oh,
I always thought I'd marry her. I always thought we haven't found each other yet, but maybe. I am married now, though. Tasha, I love you.
I think she is too, isn't she?
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, but
lots
I mean,
can
all women get
life.
married. And I mean, they're all secretly lesbians. Can I say that?
Moving on.
Yeah.
So that's one. That's one.
Yep. Oh yeah, sorry. So
two
Pink.
more. Yep.
Luke Combs. Got that. Yeah. Went to his concert recently. Epic. And my first ever concert was Keith Urban.
Oh,
Still love
Keithy.
him. Yep. Blue jeans.
Represent.
Yeah. Love a bit of Keithy.
Nice.
They're my 3. I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, nice. I can see that.
Yeah. I do love country.
So you are now, like in terms of our team, you are a assistant coach for the NRLW Brisbane Broncos, and you also were the head coach this year of North Devils.
Yep.
But before you were a coach, you were a player.
Yep.
Also for the Brisbane Broncos, and you jammed a lot into a few years there.
I did.
Like, thinking about your resume is pretty cool. Like World Cup, you've played Origin, you've won 3 comps in a very small, what was it, like a 4-year, that period was a 4-year window.
Yeah.
Like people don't do that in their whole careers.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So in terms of being a player, you have already spoken a little bit about it, but like what are some of the highlights for you?
Well, I think you talk a lot about like the memories you make as in winning competitions or putting on jerseys and how much that means to you, and they all meant so much to me, and that stuff I'll cherish forever. But I think the biggest thing I got out of it was like friendships. Yeah. Friendships, people that I still talk to now that I met the first year. Definitely experiences like traveling, like being in the ADF. And being in league there, like we did a Pacifica tour, so that was like insane. That was epic. Going to PNG, being involved with the PNG girls has been insane. And yeah, like the premierships obviously, and wearing the Queensland jersey and like running out and singing the national anthem, doing the same thing for the Jillaroos. They're stuff that I'll remember forever. Probably one of the biggest things was when I first made PMs, my first ever game in the green and gold. And I was standing out on the field, wrapped. I'd always told mum and dad when I was younger, like I'd play for Australia. I always thought it was going to be soccer. But then obviously things changed, and I got into rugby league, and then mum and dad come over for that game, and I just remember like crying as I was singing the national anthem, like looking up and seeing them, and they were crying. And it was just a moment that that was a pretty special moment.
That's very hot.
It was hot. It was hot. I remember warming up and it was just insane. Yeah,
that was that first one we went to.
Yeah, it was 2017.
Yeah.
Because it was right before the World Cup.
Yeah. It was very, very hot.
Yeah.
What's some things you miss about playing? some of the feelings maybe? Or you
Yeah,
probably...
no, definitely the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feeling of like, I still get it, like when I'm warming you girls up and stuff, like that nervous, like that, like you're ready to get out there, that anxiety of like, fuck, I'm ready to go, I just want to get out there.
Yeah.
And then like when you girls like run out onto the field and we're like standing there on the bench, like just seeing yous like at Origin, like singing the song, like, and I'm standing there on the bench like pulling everyone in, like I try and like bring that vibe to the bench, but it's like it's just that feeling. I do miss that, like being out there with your mates, but being in coaching, I still kind of get that feeling. Yeah,
and you're not getting beat up.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's like positive.
A win-win. So I did mention that you were an inaugural Bronco. Played the first 3 seasons, 100% win rate pretty much. Like comp-wise, that's not bad. And to me, you were always a very good teammate because you were always like up and about, very positive, always talking. Like at training, I remember in games, I would hear you talking the whole game and it would just get me through it. It was a good attribute. But like, that's not like an easy thing to do. So what, is that something that you consciously did? Did it come naturally to you? Do you think that like, you could teach people to do that?
I feel like I've always kind of had like a real positive attitude towards sport. Like I always have tried to like not be too negative about anything. Like if like I feel like in sport I've learnt like, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but stuff goes wrong. Shit goes wrong. Yeah. And there's no point, like if someone knocks it on, there's no point me running over and be like, Duzzi, what the hell? Like, what are you thinking? Like, that's not going to help you. It's not going to help the situation.
You got hands like feet.
Yeah, literally. Like, that's not going to help anyone. So I just go, oh, good dudes, like, let's defend it. Yeah. Like, what's our next job? What are we going to do? How are we going to fix it? Yeah. So I've just always kind of had that mentality that you can't, like, shit goes wrong. Just next job.
It's very valuable in a team, though, because lots of people... like struggle to bring that positivity to training and like can get a bit monotonous, you know, getting flogged a few times a week. So
you gotta make it
very
fun,
valuable.
Though. Yeah, I think if it's like it gets boring after a while. Yeah. So you gotta like, you want to create an environment where it's like you're excited to get there. Like, and I was just so excited to hang out with you girls and help you in any way that I could as a player. But yeah, I actually just loved being out there, and I probably did talk a little bit too much sometimes, like I just still do. But I just love it so much.
You definitely didn't. I have like visions and like I can hear the audio in my head of moments in games where you're like just saying stuff and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna like it. It was awesome. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about you as a player. Now.
Like legit, this isn't me just saying this. This is because I heard you the other day yelling, "Hooka!" from like the other side of the field, and I was like, "Yes, dudes!" Like,
that's good.
You don't realise how much it helps. Yeah.
We just kind of high-fived. We did.
Cute little backfire.
So.
Did I answer that question? I'm awful sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just.
Even through injury too, actually, for you, like you were always so positive. It was just such a great thing as a teammate to have someone like that. And like speaking of injury, unfortunately, your career was pretty much ripped off you. So, if you're comfortable, do you want to talk about how that happened?
Yeah, definitely. So that happened. I was with Broncos 3 seasons. The 4th season, got a phone call from Kelvin, sort of saying that Bronx didn't really have a spot for me anymore, which was fine. That's footy. That's life. Obviously hurt a lot initially, but then you move on. So reached out to Dragons, and they had said, yep, definitely we'd love to have you. We'll sign you. So I signed with Dragons. It was literally 2 or 3 months before I was supposed to fly down to start pre-season. It was that weird COVID year. Yeah. Things kind of got a bit thrown. The season got pushed back. We were doing like a pre-season. So we were just ripping into training, and then I just remember doing a chin-up one day and just felt this like pop. And it was the same feeling 2018. I got a bit of a crusher tackle and it led to me needing neck surgery. And it was that same feeling again, and I just knew it. So called up the surgeon, and he pretty much said like, yep, you're going to need surgery, like it's gone again. So I went in, I tried to avoid surgery for a week. It was the best week of my life. I was on a ketamine box. So I was like this box that I got to just carry around with me in the hospital for a whole week. And they'd pump up the ketamine, I'd be buzzing. I was on a high. And then they'd be like, all right, we're going to tone it down and see if the pain goes away. And it'd tone down a little bit. No, pain's still there.
Yeah.
So he said he's going to have to go in, and then when he went in, he found that my disc had snapped, which he said's like the rarest thing, never happens. Snapped and was putting pressure on my nerves, so they had to do the surgery anyway.
Yeah.
I came out, he sort of said, look, you can play, do your rehab. However, there's a chance like you can lose your right arm full sensation if you do much more damage. So then it sort of became like I want to have kids one day, like there's a lot more to life than just footy. So I sort of started heading down that road of those thoughts, and then like 2 weeks before I was supposed to go down to Dragons, total different, I've got a thing called ulcerative colitis. I was away at a clinic thing and had what they call a flare, like a really bad flare of this condition. So ended up, flew back home, straight to the hospital, was in the hospital for a few days, pretty much talking about cutting my bowels out. And it was like, that was kind of the point where I knew like that's a lot of that's like stress, anxiety, that kind of stuff, which I get a lot of through footy. So I knew like 1 with my neck and 2 with that, it was probably time for me to step away. So this is the bit that sort of changed my direction, or the path that I'm on now. But I called Dragons and said, look, this is the situation, I'm going to have to cancel my contract. I'm really sorry, I'm grateful for you guys taking me on. They said, well, why don't you not cancel it, come down, we'll put you on the coaching staff. And I said, I've never really thought about that. And they said, well, we'd love to just have you around the girls, your experience. So yeah, that was, I was like, let's go, let's do it. So I went down.
That's
and
pretty awesome, eh?
It put me on the direction I'm on now. Jamie Sow, which I know he's going through a rough run at the moment. But what I learnt from him and the fact that he took me on and the Dragons took me on in that way, I'll be forever grateful, because it's a lot of where I am today, and I don't know what I would have done, or I didn't really get a chance to think about retiring. Is that crazy? Like, randomly Tash sometimes says, like, I don't think you ever really, like, stopped and actually, like, grieved retirement. Because I just went straight into coaching. And since becoming a coach, I haven't stopped. Like, I've taken on so many gigs, I just...
No, you haven't stopped. You do. You're very busy. I know.
So I feel like when I stop one day, I'm like, oh, retired. But at the moment, like...
It's so crazy that a chin-up, like, did it.
I know, I couldn't even do chin-ups, I was just trying. Like, it was like that start.
See, that's why you don't do
chin-ups. If they tell you to do a chin-up, don't do it.
You don't need them, don't worry about it. It still is like, you know, like, not being able to finish on your terms
sucks.
But like I said, you have achieved a lot in your playing career, and I hope that you look back with joy, because
I do, and I love that I'm still involved. If for anyone that loves footy, stay involved, find a way. It's the best.
Weasel your way in there.
Weasel your way back in. Fill water bottles, pick up cones, whatever. Do it.
You sort of have spoken about this, but I guess like you said, you didn't really get a chance to think about it. So my question was going to be, did you always think about being a coach, or did you think you were ever going to be a coach?
I think I always thought I'd head down that path eventually. I always kind of felt like a bit of a leader in a lot of teams I was involved in, or I tried to be, or just tried to help guide people. So yeah, I always kind of thought I'd love to be a coach, but I didn't think it would happen anywhere near as quick as it did. But I love it. It's the best gig in the world, especially assistant, because it's like, you don't have to deal with all the shit. You get to be like the fun one. It's like, you know, you can go out and help people, or someone gets dropped and it's like, yeah, stuff Princey, like, how can we fix it? How can we get you back in Princey's good books? You know what I mean? Not stuff Princey, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you can be like, yeah, how dare Princey, but hey, what are you going to do to get back in the team?
You can always be the good cop, I guess.
That's what I was going for. That's probably a better way to put it.
That's all right.
Not stuff the coach. We love the coaches.
I like the unfiltered version of it. Do you find it hard to coach players that you played with?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Sometimes, yeah, definitely. Sometimes I find it harder to give feedback to the girls I played with, only because I've played with them for so long.
Yeah.
And I know how experienced you guys are. So I definitely find delivering feedback to younger girls or girls I haven't worked with easier.
Yeah.
However, I don't mind like coming out and saying something if I have to, like especially in Origin. Like if someone needs a rev up or like needs to be like, hey, we need more from you. Ali, like you need to be doing this, whatever. I'm happy to go do that.
Yeah, you're good in the blue shirt too, by the way.
I love blue shirt.
Yeah, you're good in that.
Sometimes a bit too much. I'm out there a little too much, but I just love it. I actually sometimes get lost in the moment. I don't know if you saw me chasing logs.
I think everyone saw that.
I thought I was a player again. I actually was celebrating like.
That was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that's why people are like, do you miss playing? I'm like, well, I kind of still do.
Yeah.
Like, I celebrate like I still do.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, without the pre-season and the contact.
Yeah.
It's like, not a bad gig.
Sign me up. Do you think you'll, like, are your goals to eventually move into the head coach position in an NRLW or an NRL club, or is that looking too far ahead?
No, that's definitely the goal. I would love to head coach a team. I never thought, I just thought I wanted to be like an alfie and just like blue shirt for life.
Yeah.
Like, just own it. And which, like, if I do that, I love that. So I'm happy to do that. But if I got the opportunity one day, I think Norse really made me like, nah, I loved that. That was the best.
Being the top dog.
Yeah, and just being able to create the environment you want to create.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all your questions done. So now it's my favourite part. I feel like you're not going to have one because you're too nice, but what's your rugby league ick?
Ooh. I do love everyone. Like, I
do love everyone, yeah.
I don't know if anyone would give me an ick.
Or it doesn't have to be a person. It could be about the game. It could be...
Oh, that's tough. See, I initially had like... No, I can't even say it because I love people.
You can say it, I can just cut it out.
But what if like the eyelashes thing gets me? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a common one. I don't get that either.
Yeah, I really struggle with that.
I love the look.
Can I say one from a coaching point of view?
Yes, of course.
When players talk during the coaches talk.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
No good.
Or you're trying to explain a drill and Joe and Lo are over there like talking. It's like, yo.
Low, Joe.
Yo, Low, Joe. I'm talking. You know?
Yeah.
That gets me.
I hate that as a player because I get like sensory overload. So if players are over here talking and then you're trying to explain a drill, I'm like turn around, shut up.
Yeah, that's good. Do that. Coaches love that because I want to say it, but
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be mine. If if you're like a player, like listen.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 2 minutes and then you can like, you know?
I feel like it's always the naughty kids in class that talk.
Yeah, it was usually me.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, on the other side, I'm like, Meg, you were such a
How dare you? All right. Well,
is that it?
We can wrap it up. Oh, you're done.
Or do you have more? Because I'm easy. I've got time.
I know you're easy, Dal. No, we can wrap that up. Episode 12 done and dusted with the great 3-time champ Meg Ward, the one and only. We're doing another clap. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, we're done.
Oh, I clapped you.
You clapped my hand.
I hamburgered your hand.